We have two main species of Passalopera. There's Passalopera grandis.
These three are grandis.
And then Passalopera meandrina. We're actually rescuing probably hundreds of corals off of an offshore fish pen that's being decommissioned off of Kona. And essentially this pen has been in the water for 11 years, since 2013. And in that time, just natural recruitment of coral has happened to the point that now it's time to take the pen out of the water. And there's a whole, 11 years worth of coral on a pen. And opportunities like this are actually really, really valuable, because the amount of time and effort and money that it would take to grow 11 years worth of coral that's on these offshore pens is huge. So any amount of coral that we can save from these pens today, that's just, it's so valuable. It's the biggest bang for the buck that you can get. These are basketball-sized to beach ball-sized coral colonies that are growing on top of this metal pipe, and many of them were completely out of the water, and we knew that those corals had hours to live, and so we were able to remove as much as we possibly could in only about 2 hours yesterday. There are hundreds of corals that we removed. Priority one was to get them back in the water, give them a chance to survive.
The Division of Aquatic Resources has been working with multiple different organizations on the Big Island to rescue corals from man-made structures prior to their decommission or scheduled maintenance. We have been working with Blue Ocean Mariculture to figure out timings to remove corals from their fish pens before they bring them in to break them down. We got notified of the timing that they wanted to bring this fish pen in, and so we reached out to our partners, Arizona State University and the Nature Conservancy, so that we could get a joint effort to rescue these corals in a rapid response.
Yeah, bubbles, I would say so. Oh, there's big crab. Almost got my toe.
After removing multiple hundreds of corals, we've now began transporting them to our land-based nursery in collaboration with Arizona State University, as well as to some of our offshore cache sites to outplant them in a future date. This is one of the largest mature colony collections that I've ever heard of in Hawaii.
Well, we've been talking about the fish pens for a long time. We never thought we'd have such a big hui day working on it, because we planned on working on them initially offshore. It's great to be responding to something in a positive way, where these corals would die otherwise, but we think that we can save a fair number of them by working all together. But yeah, this is such a massive effort. I don't think we even knew how big it was going to be until we got in the water and saw it, but I think we've made a monumental impact. And the coral that we've been able to move to the nursery so far are doing pretty well, and we hope they'll continue to thrive over there. Unfortunately, we are limited to moving these corals back to the same area that they came from, and that's partially due to the risk of invasive species, but also wanting to acknowledge the amount of effort each community, each ahupua'a has they've stewarded these reefs for generations. So we do move the coral back to the areas they came from, but one of the reasons that work like this is so important, we refer to more broadly as reattachment, is that these coral that we rescued, we think of them kind of like kupuna corals, where they're large, they're reproductive size. So rescuing even just a few of these individuals is potentially introducing hundreds of thousands of larvae back into the population. So even just reattaching one big colony can have a huge impact. So I can only imagine the amount of larvae we'll be getting back into the reef system by saving these coral.